Okay, good day, afternoon, evening, morning, whenever you're viewing this. But yeah, today we're looking at factorization, more specifically factorization of cubic functions. So we're going to be looking at cubic functions. Just a reminder of how cubic functions look. Cubic functions are in the form ax cubed plus bx squared plus cx plus d. So they're always in this form, right? So I'm going to give us an example right now for us to look at. Let's say this is our first example. We call it example 1. You're given that f of x is equal to 2x squared minus x to the power 2 minus 4. Okay, that's cubed, right? 4x plus 3. The first question that you are asked here is to show that x minus 1 is a factor. Then number 2, fully factorize f. Then we want you to fully factorize. So you've been given a factor already. You are okay. Somehow you have been given a factor in this question, so it becomes easier for us to factorize. Now let's start by showing that this is a factor, right? If you want to show that this is a factor, I want to explain the definition of factors, where they come from and everything. Just one reminder: if you've got 12 and you want to show that 4 is a factor of 12, this is just me dividing by 4 and find that it's 3 and the remainder is 0, right? So somehow I want to show that the remainder, when you divide the whole expression, the whole of this expression by x minus 1, you find 0 as your remainder. So that's what we're trying to show here, and we can definitely do that right now. But there is a quick way of doing it. Instead of us dividing and going through all all the pain, you can quickly do this. Just say x minus 1 is equal to 0, then x is equal to 1, right? Then now we are answering 1.1, right? We said x is equal to 1, then take f of 1. What that means is you are substituting 1 where there is x minus 1 squared minus 4, 1 plus 3. And this, definitely you'll find that it's equal to just 2 minus 1 minus 4 plus 3, which is 0. So it tells you that this is definitely a factor, right? So it tells you that x minus 1 is definitely a factor. So that means when you want to factorize already, you've got one factor, which is x minus 1, right? So I want to factorize this without using a calculator. I know this the silver calculator that does all of your factorization, but say you're someone like me who doesn't have it, this is how I do it. So what we're gonna do is, let me actually use a different pen. So you're gonna say x divide 2x cubed divided by x. So that's the first thing that you want to do, and that gives you 2x squared, right? Then next up you'll say, okay, negative 1 and 3, so that means 3 divided by negative 1, and that gives you negative 3. So that's where you actually hit a pause. What you do here is you just write bx, right? Now you've written bx, we need to find what bx is, right? To find bx, it's actually simple. So you've got two choices. You can either use minus x squared or you can use minus 4x. I prefer using minus x squared, it's quicker. Okay, I mean, even the other one is quicker. Don't know what I'm saying. But yeah, so what you're going to do is you just write minus x squared. Then you go back to your expression. Okay, this is f of x. That was a bad idea. But yeah, you go back to your expression. This should be equal to, you look for all the terms that when you multiply, you get something that has x squared, right? So you're going to start with, sure, let's say we multiply x and bx, right? If you multiply x and bx, you get bx squared. Next up, you multiply 1 and 2x, right? 1 and 2x, and that you're gonna get minus 2x squared. So you can see that all of these terms have x squared, right? You can divide by x squared and drop x squared. So we drop this x squared, drop that x squared. This is minus 1 is equal to 1 minus 2. But this is not just minus 1, so it's minus 1b take 2 to the other side, it becomes positive, then b is equal to 1. So now you know for sure that b is 1. You can continue with your factorization. You know for sure that you've got that f of x now is equal to x minus 1 to x squared plus b is 1, so it's just x minus 3, right? Now you can factorize this quadratic equation. So you've got x minus 1. You know how to factorize this. This is going to be 2x, what is it? 2x plus 3, x minus 1. So you already have this. If you can't factorize this, just go for your quadratic equation just for this part only. If say you were solving for x here, this would have been x minus 1 is equal to 0, or 2x squared plus x minus 3 is equal to 0. Then use quadratic equation to solve that. You'll find the exact values that I was going to find there. So that is it on factorization. Let's take another quick example. Let's do the same thing. For this one, we have that number 2, we have that f of x now is equal to x cubed plus x squared minus 5x plus 3, right? Do the same thing. Let's show that x, so you're being told that x minus 1 is a factor. Show that it is really a factor. You have x minus 1, which is a factor. You want to show that it is really a factor, right? Do the same thing. X is equal to 1, then f of 1, you'll find 0, right? From there, you want to factorize this. To factorize this, you've got x minus 1, open bracket, don't forget this is being divided by that, and that is being divided by, is it plus 3? That is being divided by, let me check if my equation really had plus 3. I've got a problem of changing up stuff. Yeah, it really did have, it's being divided by that. Perfect. So it means you've got x squared here, and you've got minus 3 at the end, right? Then your next thing is to find, just write plus bx here, is to find bx. So what we're going to do again is we're going to choose this. We're going to say x squared is equal to, when you multiply x and b, you find bx squared. You multiply minus 1 and that, you find minus 1 x squared. So it means you can just cancel out that. You have 1 is equal to b minus 1, b is equal to 2, right? So this is x minus 1, x squared plus 2, x minus 3. Quickly factorize this. You will get k x minus x plus, so 3 goes there and 1 is there. So you've completely factorized that. Just one last one, 3. This time around we've not been given a factor. This is our equation, minus x 3 expression plus 16x plus 16. So first thing that you want to check is you look for factors of 16. Factors of 16 are 1, 2, 4, 8, 16, right? Also, you could also use -1, -2, and all of that. Try substitute 1 first. Here, if you substitute 1, you're going to get minus 1 plus 16, which is definitely not 0, right? Then try minus, that's when you were trying positive 1. Now try -1. You're definitely going to get 1 minus 16 plus 16, which is 0. So it means x plus 1 is a factor. I need you to get that perfectly. X plus 1, not x minus 1. Although, remember we said, yeah, you were saying x plus 1 is equal to 0, then x is equal to minus 1. So you take it to the other side this time around, it becomes x plus 1. So your x plus 1 is a factor. Factor here is x plus 1. So you can complete the rest. You divide that by x, becomes x squared. Divide the last one by positive 1, becomes positive 16. Then you've got plus bx here. Now you work out on this for bx. Let's work out on bx. Minus x squared is equal to bx squared minus x squared. Cancel this. you've got minus 1 is equal to what is this? If you take minus 1, that's just b minus 1, right? So b is definitely 0, so it means this is just x plus 1 minus x squared plus 16. You can completely factorize this, right? By, say, taking negative outside, you'll have x plus 1. Okay, in here you'll have x squared minus 16. Then work that out, right? Okay, you'll also have negatives here, but sure, just work that out too.